Hello everybody, how's it going? How's it going? I hope you're enjoying RPGSU as much as I am. I am back with another speedrun. I did Visions of Mana a couple days ago, and now we are already onto the penultimate run of the event. Time flies, doesn't it? This will be Astria Ascending, any percent normal, a game that you don't seem to be seeing too often, although I think something is wrong. Hello? Oh, can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up in chat if you can actually hear me. Maybe even see me. Okay, you can hear me. Alright, so that's good. You can hear me, but you just can't see me. I mean, who needs the camera anyway, right? I'm just sitting here talking. But yeah. I mean, I guess that's fine. There it is. Aha! Hello, I'm back. I don't know how much of the intro you've heard, but I guess it doesn't also matter that much. I was just rambling on a little bit. This will be Astria Ascending, any percent normal, which means, yeah, we'll be playing on normal difficulty. Out of the 3 difficulties that we can choose. We'll be here for roughly 3 hours, give or take. So we have lots and lots of time to talk about this absolutely wonderful game here. You should all definitely go out and play it. I mean, you can get it on a discount pretty regularly nowadays. The game is 4 years old at this point, and it's on pretty much every system. Anyway, as soon as I hit start game here, the timer will start. So I guess let's not wait around any longer. Let's get into it. In 3, 2, 1, go! Alright, so this game barely messes around, like it basically thrusts you immediately into the action after giving you a little bit of an intro sequence here. These are our 8 main characters, and Astria Ascending is actually one of the few games that gives you access to the full party, like right from the get-go. So you can basically go ahead and mix and match your party however much you like. Which is pretty neat. Opens up quite a few strategies that you can employ. And as you can tell by the music here, the game really wants you to go, 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 go. And, ooh, I went to the wrong thing. To the wrong floor, I should say. Not thing, the floor. So we're immediately gonna go ahead and switch out a couple party members here. Ones that are a bit better suited for battle. We'll go to our settings, turn the weakness indicator on, which is not super important. I mean, we're speedrunners, we kind of know the games and enemy weaknesses, but there is actually one fight where we need that indicator on for a strategy that we're using. But yeah, basically the game immediately thrusts you into combat here. We basically put in Arpaggio and Caden here because they are the fastest characters that you have at the beginning of the game, so they are very good at just outspeeding the first couple of enemies that we encounter, making the fights go a little bit faster because you don't have to go through the enemy attack animations here. As for the story, I think the story is like probably this game's weakest link. We will go into more detail a little bit later. For now, the only thing that you really need to know is that we are the 333rd group of demigods that are protecting the world.
It's battle time.
Now, every 3 years, I think it was, 8, well, demigods get chosen from the populace, and they get, like, you know, as the name implies, godlike powers in order to protect the world. However, after those 3 years are up, they all die, and you know, the next round gets chosen. And these guys have already been the guardians of the world, so to speak, for 2 years, so 2.5 years even. So they are kind of at the end of their runtime, if you will. But things are obviously... Oh my god, where am I going? Things are obviously happening. Which, you know, catapults the story. At the start here, we are just in Harmonia, which is like the big... central town of the world, if you will. which is being attacked by the noises, which the malevolent force, if you will, is called, that is threatening the world at large. Now we're just basically doing a little bit of cleanup here and seeing how these noises were actually able to get into the town in the first place. And everything leads to the sewers here. Oh my god. Can you guys please stop missing? That would be great. I do like this fight though, because we will be doing a couple of grinding sessions throughout the run, because, you know, if we're just gonna speeding through this whole thing, we would be very much underleveled, and the run would be very, very hard, so we have to do a couple of grinding sessions here. Oh my god, this is fantastic. I mean, I do like this fight in particular, I have to admit. Because the great thing about this fight is these rats can do a rally call, as you've already seen, where they summon other rats, which is actually pretty neat. Normally, because it means that you can just keep on fighting them.
My turn.
Which obviously helps to cut down time a little bit, as we do not have to get into another encounter to fight more enemies for the grind. However, this is starting to go a little bit overboard here, like, holy hell. I've never had like an early game fight drag on for this long. But I could say this has never happened before. But yeah, the neat thing in this game in particular is between fights, all of your characters are actually actively recovering their health. Oh my god. Can you stop missing, please? So you actually don't have to keep using, you know, potions or anything to keep your characters topped off, which is pretty handy. And as an added benefit, because we are fighting in a town right now, we are also passively generating our MP. Again, as long as we are out of combat, you can kind of see it on the HP and MP bar down there. Which is a really neat feature. It really cuts down on the consumables that you have to feed your characters throughout the game. Never happened before, kind of for this run. 1, yes. Seeing how this goes, I fully expect this counter to go up even further. Oh my lord. But yeah, we are in the first dungeon of the game. Like I said, we are in the sewers here. This is apparently where the noises were coming from. So we are investigating by killing absolutely everything that comes our way. Now the nice thing is, because we had this very long rat fight at the start here, I should also be very good already on my SP in order to grab the abilities that I need before the first boss, which is pretty nice. So, depending on which encounters you get, there are definitely configurations, if you will, where you won't be able to grab the abilities that you need before the first boss fight, which doesn't make the boss fight impossible, it just makes it slower than it could be. Also, you might have noticed this is actually like a 2D RPG, kinda in the vein of Valkyria Profile, if you will. Which is something that you don't see that much in RPGs, I think. Or at least I haven't. And that kind of contributes to the fact that this is a pretty fast speedrun. You might not be able to tell it just yet, but once we're actually like in the proper flow of the game, and especially once we are done with all the grinding, the run will go by just blazingly fast. Here we get our first ring power. This allows us to shoot this little projectile that you saw me use there in order to, well, hit that switch, I guess, in order to progress. There are a total of 5 of these projectiles that we will be picking up over the course of the run. And each of them has like a different function. Like this one like activates switches and also stuns enemies, which is pretty handy. We'll see that a little bit later. But yeah, I kind of see the not the boss fights, the fights themselves kind of standard here. We mainly use Arpeggio and Caden to quickly kill the enemies, and then Cress and Dagmar as needed. Well, the little puzzle here, we have to hit 4 of these switches in the right order. You saw, or if you had a look at that obelisk there, it basically tells you the order in which you have to use them. But yeah, if we hit them in the wrong order, obviously you have to do the puzzle over, so we don't want to have to do that. Now these enemies, the Tufa, they're kinda Well, they're odd case at the start of the game because they are completely immune to physical attacks, so you have to use magic in order to damage them.
We need more information.
Which of course isn't that great at the start of the game because spells actually do use up a lot of MP at the start. So you run out of it like pretty quickly.
Great work.
So gotta be a little bit mindful of that. Okay, we did the puzzle. The door opens, but before we go through there, we have to do one pickup here, which will be a Confuse Guard ring. As the name implies, this ring will protect us from the Confuse status, which will be very important in a little bit. But yeah, we have one more fight, and then we already have our first boss fight coming up here.
It's battle time.
Bum, 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 bum. Oh, this is actually big. Oh, God.
Feel the fear.
If only my characters could stop missing the enemies. That would be fantastic.
My turn. Feel the fear.
Alright. I think we should still be good on everything, so we don't have to do anything. Okay, change party, we bring in Alec and Echo, and then we go to the Ascension tree for Cress, and we grab a Nyx Blade. And just because we're here, I'm just quickly gonna fill up my MP just a little bit. And don't worry, I will go into more detail of all the systems a little bit later, but we have a lot of stuff to get in through at the start. This is our first boss fight. This is Octofairy. And basically, almost all of the boss fights in this game have multiple phases, which is pretty neat. Makes you really think on your feet for all of them. We try to get poison off here, just so we can get in a little bit more damage on the Octofairy. She is weak against light and lightning attacks, so we will try to exploit that as much as possible here. Okay. This should put us into the second phase of the fight. Yeah, but now we go through the transform. Like, sometimes this animation can get a little bit messed up, as you saw there. Like, yeah, there she goes. Like, normally those two things are supposed to, you know, play at the same time. Sometimes it just doesn't. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, basically just hit her with light and lightning attacks, and then very soon this fight will be over.
Take you all on. This ends now.
Thunder.
I think Echo might be able to end the fight here.
Let me help. Light.
My turn now.
Almost. There we go. Alright. First boss down. But you might have already picked up on it, that every enemy, you know, obviously, because it's an RPG, has weaknesses and immunities, resistances, and whatnot. And the game is kinda Shin Megami Tensei coded in that regard, where you don't necessarily get press turns, like a whole turn after you hit a weakness, but you do gain FP, which makes it so that you can empower your abilities and deal a bunch of damage on your next attack. Oh my god, I didn't want to do that. Thank you. And how that works, we'll go into a little bit more detail once we actually do the grinding and you see more of the battles. For now, we will be playing Jaster. It's basically this game's version of Triple Triad, if you will, but instead of cards, you're playing it with tokens. During the run, we actually won't be using that at all. We just do the mandatory tutorial plays, and that will be just about it. You don't even have to win this one. It is kind of nice if you do, though, because you do gain an elixir. Which we won't be using, but you can sell it for 5,000 lumps, which is this game's currency. And that is quite a bit. However, for the speedrun, again, it's not necessarily needed because we have routed the money so that we don't need to win this Jaster match, luckily. Because it's basically because your tokens are so weak at the start, if you don't go first, you've most of the time already lost. And since it's basically a cost or a coin cost, if you actually do go first or not, that's really not that great to have, you know, 10 minutes into a run. Obviously not that long, but I would hate to have to reset over this. Okay, doing a bit of shopping here. We will be buying a Nove, a Mesotherium, and a Choir.
Come back anytime.
And then we're already out of here. Alright. Now we're in the swamp and we are making our way to the first of 12 temples. The game's main dungeons are these temples that are all styled after the 12 zodiac signs. And we are on our way to the Pisces temple. However, we won't actually be doing all 12 temples over the course of the run. The reason for that simply being that the first 5 temples are like, their order is basically set in stone. And after the 5th temple, the game opens up, so you can do any of the remaining 7 in any order you like. However, once you have completed 3 more for a total of 8, you can already go ahead and finish the game. So there's at least 4 temples that you do not have to touch at all, and that is basically what we will be doing. Which is, you know, not touching them. We're going to equip the weapons that we bought. And then we are going back to the sewers because, oh wait, I forgot to equip one thing, which is actually very important, which is a Confuse God Ring on Dagmar. And now we have to do our first grinding sessions. We will be doing a total of 3 grinding sessions over the course of the run, which total about, I want to say 45 minutes maybe?
This ends now.
We recently cut the grinding that we have to do down from like an hour total to roughly 45-ish minutes, depending on how it goes, which is one of the biggest time saves we've had in a long while. Like, you might have seen it on the blurbs on the intermission screen. I'm basically this game's only active runner. So, oh my god, really? About 90% of the routing and the strategy for this game was done by me, with input from a couple other people. Like recently there was actually a new runner that has picked this game up, which it made me very happy to finally have somebody else to, you know, talk strategies and whatnot with. Because yeah, I don't know, this game just kind of passed by the general RPG speedrunner community for some reason, which is a damn shame because this is an absolutely fantastic game. But yeah, like I said before, I really do like this rat fight because they just keep multiplying if they want to. Which really cuts down on the amount of, you know, different fights that you have to take. However, they didn't always do that, so it's really up to luck. Which is probably like my main gripe, that the grinding sections that you do have to do can be very RNG dependent. So there's a lot of time to be gained or lost when you do these. Like, this is like the least favorite thing that can happen to me if you get like into an encounter with a single enemy. Because, you know, obviously you have to do the whole transition into and out of the fight, no matter how many enemies there are. So doing that for a single enemy, it's just, oh god, why? Yeah, I said that at the start, we already have access to all 8 of the characters that we will be getting over the course of the game. Interesting enough, we have found use for 7 of them. So you will see every character in action at least once, except one of them, which will be Alasia. Her archetype is basically the summoner of the group. So she's the only character that can actually use summon magic. However, we haven't found any use for that, so we will not be using that, which makes her like basically useless. Or better or worse, I don't know. If you're a fan of summons, sorry, you will not be seeing any of them. Because they also take a lot of time, and they're basically, you can think of the summons kind of functioning like in Final Fantasy X, where they basically substitute your whole party. And sadly, that is just not worth it in this game. because they are quite a bit weaker. And they also use up all your FP to actually attack. So once you run out of FP, the summon will end anyway. Right, while we're talking about the grinding, let's actually talk about FP. You see these little diamonds in the top right and the top left corners of the screen here. And the top right, the yellow ones, are my FP, and the blue ones in the top left are the enemy's FP. FP stands for focus points. And basically what happens if you hit an enemy's, or you start every battle with 1 FP. And from there on, you can use your FP to increase the power, but also stuff like the accuracy of an attack by 50% per FP used. You can use a maximum of 4 FP per action that you take. So you can increase, you know, the damage of an attack up to plus 200%, so 300% in total, which is a lot. You gain FP if you hit an enemy's weakness. If you hit a weakness, you gain 2 FP. Now, if you hit a resistance, you lose 1 FP, even if you haven't used one on that action. If you hit a nullification, you lose, I think, 2. And if you hit an absorption, I think you lose 5. So you really want to cater your attacks to the enemy's weaknesses in order to make use of that. Because not only do you deal more damage when you hit a weakness, you also gain FP with which you can hit that hardness even harder. Like I said, it's kind of reminiscent of the press turn system from Shin Megami Tensei, but also not quite. It has like its own spin on that system there. Which is kind of neat, because I think we all agree that the press jump system is like one of probably the best combat mechanics out there.
Great work.
Like, I think it's a really great invention, and it makes one of the things, or one of the Shin Megami Tensei games just so good. What a child of light is this? Yeah, you know what? I could see it. Not that far removed from that either, you're right. I think if I were to describe this game, I would probably say it's like a mixture between Valkyria Profile, Final Fantasy X, Shin Megami Tensei. Which is a wild mix if you think about it. No, it's actually not. It is actually a different studio. This was made by Artisan Studio. It's only their second game. And the only other game that they have done before this was the Neptunia RPG, believe it or not.
It's battle time.
I personally haven't played that because I'm not that interested in the Neptunia series, so I can't comment on that too deeply. But hey, if you've played that, well, this was the next game that they did. And they're actually working on a new game right now, which is shaping up to be pretty good from what I was able to tell. So I'm really looking forward to that when it releases, hopefully later this year.
We've got this.
But yeah, I mean, it can't be overstated how great this game just looks. Like, that is basically what drew me to, you know, not only playing this casually in the first place, but also just, you know, doing the speedrun for it, because it just looks gorgeous. And the music is also pretty good. Like, they actually have some pedigree here, like one Final Fantasy composer, not Nobuo Uematsu, but I forgot his name, actually did the music for the game. I can't remember the name now. Yeah, they definitely had some help from some very prestigious Japanese JRPG developers, which I think really shows.
I'm ready. Yes, whoops.
As you can see, like, your characters missing is definitely a concern that you have, at least in the beginning of the game. Especially against these rats.
It's battle time.
I can't count anymore how many attacks I have missed against them. And honestly, I kinda don't want to think about it either.
This ends now. Hiya!
My Aeshmah Dagmar killed that one. Nice. But yeah, we have to do a couple more rounds here. Like, I want to say this is probably the most boring grind out of the three that we're doing because, you know, it's not that many enemy variations. It's pretty early in the game and we don't really have the power yet to get through these fights really quickly. So even though this is the grind where we actually gain the least amount of experience, it is probably the one that also takes the longest, almost. Simply because the fights take quite a bit longer than they will when we do another grind. Or the other grinds in the run.
It's battle time.
However, I do have to say we did get a good variation of enemies, so I'm at least happy with that. How are we doing anyway? We are at 100. Okay. What? We're gonna do a little detour here because at some point we have to come here and pick up a side quest, which will start a whole side quest chain that we actually want to complete. And I will switch out Caden for Echo here. And then we'll just go back into the sewers and continue grinding. We have 100 SP on Astria at the moment, and we want to grind up to 150.
Leave it to me.
So we will still be here for a little while. On average, you gain about 3 to 4 SP per fight. And there are 4 fights that we take in the sewers here before we reset. So, you know, on average, we will gain about like 15, let's say, SP per loop. And we need about 50, so, yeah, about 3 to 4 of these loops that we have to do.
This ends now.
Or that we still have to do, I should say. We already did quite a few. But yeah, if we wouldn't do this, Pisca's Temple, where we should go, just would absolutely wreck our face.
It's battle time.
I think it's Sakimoto?
Leave it to me. Feel the fear.
At least the name sounds very familiar.
Fire.
I knew we'd win.
It is Sakimoto. Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, sorry, I am kinda bad when it comes to names of developers.
My turn. This ends now. Leave it to me.
One rally call? Nice.
This ends now.
Yeah, this fight with the 5 rats is basically the best fight that you can get at this point. Because they're pretty easy to defeat, and like I said, they can do the rally call where they just summon more of them. Which is pretty great.
It's battle time. My turn. This ends now. Hiya! Great work. We've got this.
Now, I would actually prefer if we didn't get the preemptive strikes when we fight the rats, simply because then they would actually get a chance to, well, you know, use the rallying call.
My turn.
Because this way we're just, you know, getting through all of them before they're able to do that. But on the flip side, obviously, they don't always use that. There are only 3 things the rats can do. They can either attack, which is meh. They can use rallying call, which is really good, if it works. Or they can poison you, which is probably the least favorite thing, or the worst thing, I guess, that they can do. Not because the poison deals a lot of damage or anything, it's just because the poison, or the animation of the poison attack just takes forever to resolve. So you're just basically losing quite a bit of time every time they try to do that.
It's battle time. My turn. Feel fear.
Yeah, so again, these guys are completely immune, or they nullify physical attacks. So we have to use magic against them. And that's basically the main reason why we brought Dagmar and to a lesser extent also Caden.
We've got this.
Also get used to arpeggios, haha, because you will be hearing that a lot over the course of the run. Just as a bit of a warning. The game actually also does have a Japanese audio track if you want to listen to that. So the game, yeah, is fully voiced in English and Japanese.
Great work. We've got this.
Exactly.
My turn. This ends now. Hiya! Phew.
Because it's kind of funny, like, you know, Arpeggio is probably the oldest member of the whole team, but he's also the fastest because he is the thief out of them.
We've got this.
So obviously he has the highest agility. Kaden, the bird lady, being second place when it comes to speed.
This ends now. Hiya!
We'll talk about this a little bit more later, but the game also has a job system, kind of like, you know, some of the Final Fantasy titles. So every character starts off with a unique job that no other character can get ever. So Ulan is the captain, then we have Alec as the soldier, Dagmar, obviously a sorcerer, Arpeggio is a thief, Kaden is an explorer, Cress is... what was her job called again? It's not duelist, but it's something like this. It's also not swordmaster. Something in between. Then we have Alasia as the summoner. And then Echo is, I think Oracle is his unique job. Kinda like a priest. And I think that was all 8 of them.
Leave it to me. This ends now. Hiya!
Oh, it was the last time we could use Fire Blade, so yes. I think we're also getting very close to the end of our grind here. I forgot to have my own splits running, so I'm not quite sure how we are doing in comparison at the moment.
My turn. Yeah.
Like that.
Alright, so it's gonna take the last fight, and I think then we are done with the grinding.
It's battle time. No way.
Yeah, welcome in, Raiders. Good to see you all. You came at just the right time,
This
because we
ends
are
now.
probably done with the first grind here. So we'll continue with the game in just a moment.
I knew we'd win.
Let me see, do we have 150 on Alasia? We do! We actually have a little bit more. Okay, cool. So we go back to the marketplace and turn in the quest to Ophrin. Like, the quest was basically just kill 10 enemies, which, yeah, this definitely have killed more than 10. And then we switch back to Alec and Echo, and then we go to the Ascension Tree. Now, the Ascension Tree is basically, like, think of it as the Theurgrid from Final Fantasy X. This is basically where you know, get your abilities and whatnot. But the unique take is that you not only gain power through the Ascension Tree, as it's called here, you also level up normally. So there's like multiple ways how you can actually increase the power of your characters. Which is pretty interesting if you think about it. Imagine Final Fantasy X if you didn't only go through this Theurgrid, but also just, you know, gained normal level ups. This is Anon. He is the Piscis Astray, as they are called. We'll try to poison him again. He is weak against lightning. Okay, we did not get the poison. That's fine. Next. You can kind of see how much damage we're already dealing with 4 FP on Dagmar here. Try to poison him again. The first 2 turns that he does is scripted, so he'll always use Omni Water into Rolling Mine. Hopefully we can kill him before that. Yes, okay, cool. The next attack he would have done, Rolling Mine, is very dangerous because it hits your whole party and it has a chance to confuse all of them. Now, each character basically rolls their own chance of getting confused. And what confusion does, I mean, you've probably played other RPGs or seen other RPGs if you're here. But it, well, makes your character do random actions, whatever they want, for 3 turns. And let me tell you, 3 turns of confusion on your whole party is a whole lot, which is also why we got the confusion guarding in the sewers earlier. In order to be able, yeah, that at least one character doesn't get confused. Coming up is probably one of the worst boss fights. This is more like a mini-boss in the whole game, but this is Mother Fauna. All 5 enemies are faster than us. And depending on what they are doing, we can get completely wrecked. Okay, she casted Omni Water, which is fine. Because she can also cast Omni Stun, which stuns your whole party for up to 4 turns. Which is ludicrous. However, it's not so great that 2 of our characters got confused here. One of them even died, so... Yes. A little rough spot right now. Okay, we got rid of the ads. Good. But she also keeps killing our characters. Luckily you have a couple of revival items here that we will have to use, but if she keeps hitting us like that, we are not in a good spot, let me tell you. So, like I said, this can be a very rough fight. Which is why we did all this grinding, because otherwise you would be just dead in the water here. And yeah, there's really nothing else to do but grit your teeth and try to get through this. Okay, you know what? Summoning ads is fine, honestly. I'll take that. I actually want to heal Dagmar here. I normally wouldn't heal anybody, but seems like a good idea at the moment.
This ends now. Whoops.
Oh, come on. Can you all stop it with the missing, please? That would be absolutely fantastic. Oh boy.
I'll take you all on.
Getting absolutely SMT'd at the moment, and I'm not even playing SMT. A lot of my characters are just missing their freaking attacks! Oh my god! Honestly, I've never seen this be this bad. Like, this is ridiculous. She was able to summon a second one. Oh, people, what are you doing? Can you please stop missing?
My turn now. Nice.
This ends now.
Fucking thank you. Oh my god, she's still not dead. Oh!
I'll take you all on.
Okay, please just kill her. Thank you. Okay, we're out of MP. Alright, just gotta get through this. Wow, this...
Let me help.
Oh! This was one of the worst fights with her that I've had so far. And she didn't even use the Omni Stun. Again, keep in mind, Mother Fauna has an ability which stuns all of your characters for 3 to 4 turns. And she didn't even use that, and the fight was still this bad. Also, to top it off, not only can she stun all of your characters, she also has an attack with which she can confuse all of your characters. Which might be even worse, depending on. So yeah, this is like literally one of the roughest fights in the whole game. And I'm not sure why they put that enemy like in the second dungeon like that. Because I don't think there is a single other enemy in the whole game, boss or not, that can stun and or confuse your whole team. So they went really balls to the walls at the beginning here.
What do we have here?
The game does have auto saves and manual saves. You see teleporters, like these things here. These are not only points which you can teleport back to, but they also double up as autosaves. So every time you walk over a teleporter, you see the little spinning cycle in the top left, meaning you got an autosave. But we will also do a manual save here. And you saw I put every one of my characters out of my party. Oh, hold on. Which has a very particular reason here. So this can take a couple attempts. Was that it? Oh, that was too late.
Let's fight.
You will see what I'm trying to do here in a moment. For now, I failed it, so we will kill ourselves. And then we will load the last save. We will not try the fight again. Oh, and we got it. So if you hit menu while the fight triggers, the game gets a bit confused because it doesn't like to overlay the menu to other triggers, which means we can completely bypass this boss. This is almost frame perfect, so yeah, this game has frame perfect tricks. Welcome to Astria Ascending Speedrunning. But yeah, if you thought Mother Fauna was bad, this fight would have been even worse than that. So I am very glad that we are able to just outright skip that fight. Pejo and Ulan. Right. Another thing, when we complete a temple, we get basically job spheres. So we can now make Arpeggio a Dark Knight. And then we'll make Ulan a Black Mage. So now they have their main jobs, and we grab a couple of abilities around here, which will be very good for what we have planned next. You have to be very careful when selecting your job though, because selecting your job is a final decision. There is no going back from that. This isn't like Final Fantasy V or whatever, where you can freely change your character's jobs. Once you have selected a job, that decision is set in stone. You have to either redo the whole game or load a save from before that if you selected the wrong one. Having said that though, like every job in this game is viable. There is technically no bad job combination. Ah, I forgot to give him an ether. My bad. But obviously for the speedrun we have very specific jobs that we want our characters to have, so if I were to select the wrong job for a character, that would be very, very bad. But yeah, the reason that we have selected Dark Knight for Arpeggio here, because he is still our fastest character, and Dark Knights gain access to Omni Forcior. Now, Forcior is a very interesting ability, because it is a magic ability, or a spell if you will, but it is non-elemental and deals physical damage. Yeah, wrap your head around that one for a second. The main takeaway is that it deals a buttload of damage and it hits every enemy, and at this point it basically one-shots every non-boss, which makes grinding a hell of a lot faster. Which is basically the main reason why we're picking this up at this moment. We're just quickly waiting for Arpeggio to regain his mana, because again, we are in town. Could technically just give him an ether, but nah, whatever. And then we have the next boss fight already coming up.
We've got this.
Arpeggio as a Dark Knight also gains Defense Break, which lowers an enemy's defense and magic defense by 30%. Now Argon will always use Omni-Mute on his first turn. Oh, Ulan did not get hit. Oh, that's pretty good, actually. We can make use of that. So we just focus to gain more FP. Then we use Iceus, which is a level 3 ice spell, which deals a buttload of damage to this guy. But Ulan at the moment only has enough MP to use that once before we need to feature some ethers. We'll quickly go ahead and do that. Ether. So every spell comes in 1 to 4 levels. So for example, you have Ice, Icior, Iceus, and Ice Rima, and the same for all the other elements as well. And yeah, you know, Ulan didn't even have access to level 1 or level 2 spells, but because she is a black mage, she immediately gained access to level 3 spells. Because the funny thing is, Dagmar's base class, Sorcerer, is the only class that actually gets level 1 and 2 spells. Everybody else who becomes a black mage just goes straight to level 3. And as you might imagine, you are not really supposed to use level 3 spells at this point already, which is why we're kinda just melting bosses like right from the get-go. That is also like the neat thing, as long as you know what your enemy is weak against, you can pretty easily dispose of them. I mean, that was a boss that we just thought, and we basically 2-tapped him. We will not go in here, we'll go in here. Buy a couple Omni Potions and Ethers. So yeah, spoiler warning, we will turn Arpeggio into an absolute Ether addict over the course of the run here. Because you've seen him use Omni Force, right? And oh boy, will he use that a lot. Basically, all of our grinding will now revolve around him using Omni Force, right?
It's battle time.
Because again, it's fast, it gets rid of all the enemies for us, so we do like that. So we are basically making our way through the desert here, but we're also starting our second grinding session basically at the same time here. So we will take every encounter that come along here and, you know, defeat them. However, we also have to feed Arpeggio at least 1 ether after every single fight, because he doesn't have enough MP yet to use 2 of them in a row. Also, this is the best fight basically that we can get at this point against these 8 bugs. The reason for that is grabbing the nodes in the Ascension tree to gain stats and abilities and whatnot gives you way more power than leveling up. For example, if you were to level up, you would probably gain like between 1 to 2 points in strength and magic and all the other stats. But if you go to the Ascension tree, there are nodes in there that just straight up can give you 20 points in your magic stats. So basically what amounts to 6 to 10 level ups in a magic stat, right? So you gain a lot of power through the Ascension tree. So it is like very front loaded in that aspect, if you will. Whereas leveling up, you know, obviously you will gain more stats overall from leveling up, but you just gain them quicker in the beginning if you use the Ascension tree. So all of our grinding is centered around, okay, how can we quickly gain a lot of SP to use in the Ascension tree? And the way that this is structured is like every enemy in the game, except a couple of, well, exceptions and obviously bosses, will only ever give you 1 SP. So if you fight a normal enemy, the chances are pretty high that you will only gain 1 SP from them. What that means is that we want fights against a lot of low-level enemies at once. And as it so happens, the fight that I pointed out a little bit earlier against those 8 bugs is the fight with the most enemies at once. And that is basically the fight that we want to try and grind. So it's kind of convenient that, you know, it's in this area, which is very close to the start of the game. Another thing that you might have noticed here is the game actually has weather effects. Every area has 2 different weather states it can be in. It can either be sunny, or it can have a bad weather effect like the sandstorm here, or, you know, a thunderstorm or a hurricane or something in a different region. The weather effects are not just for show, they actually have gameplay implication. Very broadly speaking, if you have a bad weather effect and you go into a fight, you will be fighting very few but stronger enemies. And if you fight enemies in sunny weather, you will fight more enemies that are weaker. So obviously for the grinding, we try and want to fight during sunny weather. Again, it's not a hard rule, but it's kinda what it boils down to. Now, having said that, it usually it's not worth it to try and change the weather, because the only way to change the weather is if you transition an area, by example, going through a door into a next screen, so to speak. As far as I'm aware, like, there is the same chance for either sunny weather or bad weather, so it's basically like a coin toss, 50-50, if you get the sunny or the bad one. So, yeah. Obviously, once we do our big grind a little bit later, we absolutely do want to have the sunny weather. But at the moment, we basically just take whatever. Also, once again, I forgot to use an ether on our pager between the fights. Now, luckily, in a moment, our pager will have a lot of MP, but we have to do a little bit more grinding for that first. The harder enemies are giving you more XP. They're also giving you more money, I think. But like I said, gaining levels in this game is not as impactful as gaining SP to use on your ascension tree. So, we really do not really care about what level the characters are at all, because you gain so few stats from it. Obviously, it adds up over the course of the game. Don't misunderstand me here. But yeah, like, you know, I would need to get 10 level ups to have the equivalent of grabbing one stat node in the ascension tree. At the higher ends, obviously not every node just gives you like 20 strength. You know, there are also nodes that give you less stats, like only 2 strength and 4 strength and 8 strength and stuff like that. But yeah. Obviously, you build up towards the end of the tree, and then you get like the really high yield ones. Those are the ones that are absolutely worth it. Oh, oops. Yeah, for some reason, I sometimes just don't see that one. I don't know why.
We've got this.
Yeah, this is the fight that we want to see with the 8 bucks here, because we gain a whopping 8 SP out of that. Also, the enemy you saw one fight ago that used the flee ability on me, that is a Miglov. You can think of the Miglovs as basically the metal slimes from the Dragon Quest series. They are enemies that are very hard to defeat, they are very fast, so they will probably go before you. And they have a tendency of using the flee ability on you, which makes you flee. It's not them running away, it's you, for some reason. But if you do manage to defeat them, they alone are worth 20 SP and quite a bit of experience. So if you can, you absolutely do want to kill them. However, it is very tricky to do so. But yeah, every time we are able to defeat one, that cuts down the grinding that we obviously have to do by quite a bit. That's quite nice if we do that. Like, they have only 2 abilities as far as I'm aware that they can use. It's either the flee, which makes you run away, or they can be very beneficial to you and use Omni MP Cure on your party, which obviously restores your MP. And then it's your turn, and then you use that MP to just kill them. But yeah. Sadly, we weren't that lucky when that one guy came around. Also, another thing to keep in mind is there is basically 2 ways how you can initiate a fight. Like, you can either run into that blue orb, which, you know, are the enemies on the map, or you can swing your sword. And that actually has a difference to it. Because if you just run into an enemy, you have a chance of being surprised by them, which obviously means that all the enemies go before your team goes. And the reverse is true. If you swing your sword to initiate a fight, then you have a chance to get a preemptive strike like we got here. So my whole team goes, or gets an extra turn at the start of the fight, basically. Oh. Speaking of which, we will now grab this note here, which gives Arpeggio plus 310 MP. So we've basically quadrupled Arpeggio's MP just from grabbing this one note, which basically already tells you how ridiculously powerful those notes are. And what that means in the long term is that we can do like a full loop now of the grind without having to replenish his MP, which drastically cuts down on the menuing that we have to do, but also on how many ethers we have to use. Because ethers and potions and basically all of the restorative items in this game are percentage based. So the base potions and ethers will restore 30% of your maximum HP or MP. And then you have other potions which restore 50% and so on and so forth. So even the most basic potion in this game still holds some kind of value in the end game. You know, it's not like a Final Fantasy game, right? Where like a potion will restore 100 MP and then at the end of the game you have like 10,000 HP. So why the hell would you ever use a normal potion anymore? We probably have to do like 2 more of these loops until we have enough SP before we can continue here. Like I said, the start of the run is pretty front-loaded with the grinding that we have to do, but once we are through all the 3 grinding sessions, this is the second one, the run will become incredibly fast.
It's battle time.
The only sad thing here is I'm not getting as many of the bug encounters that I was like at the moment here. Maybe the next time I have to fill up Arpeggio's MP, I will check how we're looking.
We've got this.
Like we want to get to 450 SP on Astria before we continue on here.
Great work.
And again, we are at 311. That's probably about 3 more loops then. We gain roughly 40 to 50 SP, I think, per loop here. And again, it's just up to RNG how often we are in bad weather. Like, even if we are in bad weather, we can still get the fight against the 8 bugs. However, it is a lower chance than if we were in sunny weather like this. But even then, in sunny weather, you know, we could just get this encounter and not the one against the 8 bugs. What is she saying at the beginning of the battle? You mean Ulan? I think she says something like, got you? Ah, see, now he used MP Cure. The thing is, he is resistant against physical attacks. So what we want to do is we want to use Goaty. Goaty is a special ability that sacrifices the HP of all of your other party members and uses that as the damage of the ability. And that goes through an enemy's defense. So that is basically how we guarantee that we are able to kill the Miglovs here. So that was pretty nice of them. To, you know, use the MP cure that we can kill them and gain the SP. Zion, I think you mean what Ulan says, right? When you hit the enemy on the world map? If you mean Cress, she says it's battle time. But I honestly also have to admit that I've heard these voice lines so often now. That I'm not really actively listening to them anymore. They're just kind of going in one ear and out the other. Oh, yeah. If it was Cress, she says it is battle time. Or she can say, we got this. I mean, luckily every character has like a couple different lines they can say at the start of a fight, so it doesn't get as repetitive. The only thing that gets really repetitive is Arpeggios laugh.
We've got this.
Oh, another Miglov? Ah. Sad.
It's battle time.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take this and exchange, I suppose.
Great work.
We've got this.
Okay, we've got to refill our MP again so we can check how we are looking on the grind. We are at 374. That's probably at least one more full loop after this one.
Battle time.
Probably a partial second after that as well.
Great work.
Yeah, the brain is literally censoring the voice lines. I mean, I've run this game quite a bit. It's only just recently, especially for RPGSU, that I picked the game up again, which is also when, I think I touched upon that a little bit earlier. A new runner actually entered the scene, and he has found a couple of things that we can actually make use of now. Like, I've known about them before, but I've never found a use for them. But he actually did, so the round has actually changed quite a bit. So what you're actually seeing here now has technically never been publicly shown outside of my stream. So it's definitely the first time it's being shown at an event, which is kind of exciting. Because my previous best time / world record of this game was roughly 3.5 hours. I think it was 3 hours, 32 minutes, and a little bit. And leading up to RPGSU, I was able to cut that down by almost 30 minutes. I think the new best is now 3 hours, 4 minutes and something. Which is pretty insane.
We've got this.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, there are still quite a few things that can go wrong here. Yeah, don't misunderstand me. I didn't make the, you know, the reference to SMT without reason. I would say though that the game might not be as volatile as Shin Megami Tensei can be, but there are definitely points in this run that are not particularly safe. And ever since we cut down on the grinding with a new route, things have only gotten worse.
It's battle time.
Great work.
Alright, how are we looking? 407, yeah. Oh, I need another whole rotation here. Now, the reason why I always check Alasia's SP for seeing how we are doing on the grind is because she's the only character that will never participate in any of the fights. And if your character is dead at the end of a fight, they do not gain experience, SP, and so on and so forth. And since she will never participate in a fight, it is very safe to look at her SP, right? Because she will still gain the SP, even if she isn't in the fight, but she will never not gain it. So you always kind of know where you are in your grind. Fun fact though, there are quite a few quality of life options that you can use in the options menu. Like for example, if you don't want the characters that are not participating in a fight to gain XP, you can turn that off. So that only the participating members of your party actually gain SP from fighting. And there are a couple other things that you can turn on as well. Like, for example, you can turn off that enemies respawn, so you can only ever fight every enemy once. Which is kind of interesting. So, you know, if you want to make your, well, playthrough of the game a bit more interesting or challenging, there's definitely ways that you can do that. And the game also has different difficulties. Like, we are playing on normal difficulty right now. But the game also has like a hard difficulty, which basically increases every enemy's like HP, defense, strength, so on and so forth. But there's also a story difficulty, which is like super easy. Like, if you're playing on story difficulty, you are almost one-shotting everything with just a normal physical attack from any character. So if you really are only in it for the story, then you can play on that, I suppose. It would obviously make for the faster speedrun, because everything is so easy. But at the same time, if you just see me walk through this, right, and like one-tap every enemy with a physical attack, it's like, okay, where's the challenge, right? Like, it would be nice maybe for a speedrun every once in a while, but you do want to have a little bit of a pushback from the game if you are speedrunning, right? Oh, come on! Why are you making me flee? Yeah, the good old walking simulator, exactly. Like, don't be wrong, I understand it, and it can be very challenging because then obviously the optimization is more on the movement and the menuing and whatnot, but yeah, I don't know. I think I would find it very boring to do that on end. Okay, this should be the last fight, and then we are done with our grind for now, and we can continue with the game.
Great work.
Okay, we are indeed done, so we go back to Austin when you have to do a bit of shopping here. Because we have to refill our ethers.
Is that all?
Because our Pedro drank so much. And we buy a couple of weapons.
Welcome.
We buy a Vanth. We buy a Bowchain, a Bezek, and an Algafar. You get the Bowchain, you get the Algafar, you get the other Bowchain, you get the Vanth, you get Bezek, you get the Ascension Tree. Dagmar gets Omni Ice, gets more magic, and he gets fierceness. Arpeggio gets more agility and a lot more strength. And Ulan, magic, duty, more MP. 1 for 1, and Echo gets race, more HP, and Omni Area. And then we also equip fierceness on him and 1-on-1 on her. And we can continue with the game. Now, what fierceness on Dagmar does, whenever Dagmar uses a single target magic spell, he has a 30% chance to basically double cast it without additional cost. So he basically gets to attack twice. Which is pretty nice, but if you compare that to Ulan, who has 1 for 1, and what 1 for 1 does, it decreases her strength by 30%, but it increases her magic by 30%.
We've got this.
And since she is a black mage, you can kind of see where this is going. And that ability alone makes Ulan basically the best magic caster in your whole team. Nobody even comes close to the damage she can output. Well, this is new. I've never had just this guy survive until that, but okay, I'll take it. There's always something new. Now, the reason I'm still taking the fights here, because this will be where we come back to grind later on. Ah, come on, man. Don't do that to me. Those Miglovs are being rude to me today. Just making me run. But yeah, so we're not completely done with the grinding just yet. We're just done with our second session because we are strong enough that we can continue on with the game a little bit. Just so, you know, it doesn't get as monotonous, but also we will be able to buy a couple accessories a little bit later that will make our Pajo fast enough that he can actually outspeed the Miglos. So if we run into them again, we will then always be able to kill them. Which just makes the grind even better than it already was. And there's also another ability that we will have access to, which I won't spoil just yet. But for now, we have our second run in with Argon. So let's do this.
It's battle time.
So it's the same guy as before, he's just stronger now. So once again, we will start with defense break. Omnimute, see if Oolong gets hit. He did.
This ends now.
So we have to go ahead and use a remedy on her. Since Dagmar is also silenced, we will just focus.
Let's see.
And then once again use Iceus. He survived with 180 HP. Because Omnimute again. Ulan got, god. Hit by mute again. Well, it is what it is. Focus again.
Ready.
Another Iceus. So he's in the second phase right now. I guess it should be enough. Yep. Nope. It wasn't. Goddamn.
This ends.
Alright, never mind. So now he's in the third phase, and now his weaknesses actually change. He is now no longer weak against ice, but he is weak against physical attacks. Yeah. Means we now switch out our party members, or at least some of them, against the ones that deal more physical damage. And then we just go ahead and absolutely wreck him.
My turn now.
This is a 4-phase fight, so he will transform again after this. I like these boss fights, like I said, they really keep you on your toes with how many phases they can have, and, you know, them changing their vulnerabilities and whatnot, so you really have to pay attention to what you're doing. Which honestly I really appreciate, like it makes the boss fights like really dynamic. Ah, he's just about dead, isn't he? Ah, goddamn. Okay, I have to go ahead and revive Pajos though, because I don't want to miss him out on the SP here. That would be kind of bad. It's a bit shame that he died just before the boss died, but hey, that's what it is. I probably should have thrown him a potion or something. Oh well, whatever. Good old journalist mode. Okay, this is actually the only time that your party will get separated, because in the cutscene that we just skipped, Echo got kidnapped. So he won't be in the party for the rest of the dungeon. Which also means that he will not be getting experience or anything in the fights that we do. So we kinda don't want to do a lot of fights in here, because we will be using him quite a bit later on in the run. But yeah, it's basically the only time in the game that happens.
It's battle time.
Well, we have to take these fights to go through this tunnel. Excuse me. Okay, gonna refill our MP again, because we have another mini boss coming up. This is the guy that stole Echo from us. He's weak against ice, so everybody will just focus.
Now.
And then Ulan will wreck his face. One hour in and we're already dealing over 10,000 damage with a single attack. Love to see it. But yeah, what we just fought is the monster that stole Echo from us. We have to kind of chase this guy all throughout this temple here. Ugh. There's the second run in with him.
It's battle time.
Basically the exact same fight as we just had though. So again, everybody's just focusing. And then Ulan uses Isis.
Like that.
This is where we gain our third ring power, the fireball, and we can use that to basically burn down certain structures in order to continue. Not a super useful ability, but you know, you have to use it at certain points, obviously.
Inside.
We got this evasion necklace here, we will never equip it. It's basically for selling later on when we want to go ahead and buy some better equipment. Because especially at the beginning, money is a bit tight, as it tends to be in RPGs. But also kind of funny, like, the weapons, armor, and stuff like that is like kind of cheap in this game, but it is the accessories that are just ludicrously expensive. Like when I did my equipment, you know, when we bought equipment a little bit earlier, and you paid attention to the prices, like weapons cost like, I don't know, somewhere in the hundreds, maybe in the low thousands. And then you have the accessories which start at like 10,000 or 20,000, which is like a huge jump in price. So the Mick Thief is always hiding in the same pots here, so you can just, you know, remember where he is and check them. It's really not much of a problem. Yeah, now we have basically cornered him and he is ready for the true fight. So our strategy will evolve just a little bit. Plus he will also summon help. This time we use defense break.
This ends now.
And then Crest will use Ice Blade to give us more FP. Into Omni Ice from Dagmar.
Ready.
And then Ulan will do the Trident through Isis. And that ends the fight. Okay, now that we have Echo back, we want to switch him in for Chris.
Quite busy where I was locked away.
Like you mean?
Don't you
Wow,
ever get
Pedro.
fed up of mocking me?
That's rude. Anyway, next boss fight.
We won't
Against the
lose.
Behemoth. We will use an Omniforcior. This is why we brought Echo with Omni Aerial, because this enemy is weak against light.
I'm ready.
And Echo is really the only one who has light magic at this point. Omni Ice to finish up. And then Ulan will just kill him. Like, even though she doesn't have light magic, she just deals so much damage with her spells that she can just, you know, finish this guy off, even though we do not abuse his weakness. Luckily, he's also not resistant against it, so that helps. Okay, we are making a slight detour to turn in the next quest step to Ophern here. Then we have to go left until the next cutscene triggers, and then we have to go back to Ophern because that is required to continue the quest chain. Like every character Every main character has like 3 different side quest chains that they can do with certain NPCs around town, and then there's obviously like normal side quests as well. However, this is really the only side quest chain that we will do. And the reason why? Well, you will know in about half an hour or so.
Let's fight.
Not as tough as a demigod. Focus on the battle. Don't underestimate us. Stay alert. Great work.
Before the next boss, which will happen after the next fight, you have to do a little bit of a menu again. Grabbing a couple more abilities.
It's over.
Okay, so first of all, we will turn Echo into a harnesser. We will grab a little bit of magic defense, auto raise alley, crystal break. Our pager will gain more agility, so very important. Ulan will gain waterus, which is level 3 water magic. And then Kaden will get quite a few abilities here. Okay. And then you get Auto Raise Alley. Now, as the name implies, Auto Raise Alley makes it so that Echo can once per fight automatically revive a party member. This is Hake, defense break, the usual.
Let me help.
We do 1 focus. Dagmar uses water because that's his weak point, and that is why we picked up Waterus, because, yeah. Ulan uses Waterus, and it is very effective.
Great work.
Yeah, that was a boss fight. Again, she is your best black mage in the game, basically. But it's kind of interesting because, you know, if you look at her sprite with like the big shield and the spear that she usually wields, you would think that she would be your tank. And, nope, she is a way better black mage. When I played this casually, I turned her into a guardian, which is like the, you know, enhanced tanking class. She was still good at it, but oh my god, she is so much better as a black mage. Okay, so this is where some new speedrun tech is coming in. Because I will jump over this water and initiate a fight. Now, a couple things are happening here. First off, the ability Monster Bait that Kaiden has is just by pressing a button, I can initiate a random encounter whenever I want. Another thing is, you saw me, or you see that I'm not where I was before the fight anymore. And that is because I used Monster Bait over a chasm or a body of water. Because if you fall in water or into a chasm, well, the game resets you, right? Like, you don't die or anything, but you get basically teleported to the edge of whatever you fell in. However, if you jump over a chasm like that, but in the air use Monster Bait to initiate a fight, the game doesn't really know where to put you after the fight because you were supposed to fall into that chasm. So it kind of gets confused and puts you somewhere else on the map. So that is basically my long-winded way of explaining it, that yes, this game has wrong warps now. So not only do we have frame-perfect tricks, no, we also have wrong warps. And don't worry, it gets even crazier from here. They were basically entering this town from the wrong way, so we have to go out of it from the right way that we were supposed to enter, so we can trigger this cutscene. And then go back into it. Because otherwise the story wouldn't progress, because we didn't hit the cutscene trigger. We have to also buy some more equipment here. We buy 2 Rassalas. We buy a Kang. We buy a Paiskin armor. We buy 2 Paiskin robes and 2 cotton robes. Now here we meet Cress's mother. For some reason, she challenges us to a Jaster match, and she will get absolutely obliterated. It really doesn't matter too much. Again, this is a forced story match, but it is almost impossible to lose this one. You almost have to try to lose this. But you also really don't gain anything for it, so that really doesn't matter too much. Oh, that was the wrong warp point. Wanted to go here.
Well, I guess this isn't paradise, huh?
And we will now make our way to the 3rd temple that we have to go through, which will be Virgo Temple. Which is also the first Earth-based temple that we go through. I guess you can imagine, you know, since we are going through the 12 temples resembling the zodiacs, obviously they're also all tied to one of the 4 elements.
Don't underestimate us. All the people.
Why do you say that with such delight?
Like I said, since we have to go through 8 of them, you will see all 3 water temples. You will see 1 wind temple, and then 2 earth and 2 fire. Alright, now that we are on Virgo Temple, we will immediately warp out and back to Vatira. We have to do a very important shop. We will go ahead and sell our elixirs and the evasion necklace, and that gives us just enough money to buy 2 of the agility necklaces.
Come back anytime.
And then we will go back to our grinding spot. Two things we have to do here. First of all, go to Arpeggio and equip the agility necklaces. And then we have to pick up another quest item for Ofern. Spot here. And now we do our, well, last grind, which also is kinda the big grind. And we definitely want to have good weather for this. Oh, and we immediately got it. Nice. Like I said, with the monster bait ability that kiting can learn, you can initiate a random battle whenever you want by simply pressing up on the D-pad, if you have the ability equipped. So we don't have to chase down the monsters anymore, we can just summon them to us, which obviously greatly increases the speed at which you can do your grinding. And now we basically, continue doing this. This is the worst outcome that can happen. I explained before that there are 2 ways basically to initiate a random encounter, right? You either slash the enemy with your sword, so you get a normal start, or you get a preemptive strike, or you run into them, where you also get a normal start to the fight or a surprise attack. The problem with monster bait and you summoning enemies is that it will always count as you just running into the enemy, which means that the only ways that these fights can start is either normally or as a surprise attack. Now obviously you don't want to be surprise attacked, and you definitely don't want to be surprise attacked by these 8 bugs, because as you saw there, they not only deal a lot of damage to you, it also takes quite a while for all 8 of them to get their turn. However, it is still the fastest way to do this grind, so you kinda just have to go ahead and suck it up. But again, it adds to the RNG of the run, obviously. But yeah, we now have to grind until we are at 900 SP on Astria. So we're basically doubling our SP from before.
Tough as a demigod.
It is called Monster Bait. B-A-I-T. But yeah, obviously, if you talk fast... Yeah, well. Not gonna elaborate any further.
Let's fight.
No.
Victory.
I fully understand. Don't worry, I hear it myself whenever I talk about it.
Tasty for you. Focus on the battle.
Oh my god, a second one. Are you kidding me? Give me a moment. And this is just the point in the game where you just pray to RNGesus that it goes by fast. Because there are only 3 encounters that you can get here if you use Monster Bait. It is this encounter, it is the encounter against 2 wolves and 2 bugs, or it is a single Miglov. Obviously, you want as many Miglovs as you can, and if you don't get a Miglov, you want these guys. However, you don't want to get a surprise attack by any of them. But again, you don't have any kind of... Oh, we got a preemptive on the Miglov. Oh, hell yeah. Talking it into existence. Now the thing is, since Goety, the ability that we use to kill the Miglovs, uses our party's HP as its damage, and since, as we just saw, we can get surprised attacked by those 8 bugs, every time that you encountered a Miglov and were able to kill it with Goety, you want always to go into your menu and use at least 1 Omni Potion on your group so they have HP again. So in case you do get surprised attacked by those 8 bugs, you don't just immediately die. Because the game does not autosave after you did a fight. It autosaves, you know, when you transition areas or when you walk over a teleporter or whatnot. So it can definitely happen that during the grind you get surprised attacked by those 8 bugs, they kill your group, and then just, okay, I guess I just lost, I don't know, 10 minutes or whenever my last save was. And then you'll basically just reset the run. So you don't want that. So take that second or so to, you know, refill your HP after you run into a Miglov. And also don't forget to recover Arpeggios MP. Like the way I do the grind is I count in loops, and a loop is basically until Arpeggio has run out of MP and I have to menu to give him some ethers. I think this was the second loop already, and we have to do roughly 7, depending on, you know, what enemies we are getting. Which is also why I want to be near this teleporter, and after every loop that I've done, I walk over the teleporter once just to trigger an autosave. So in case that I do die and I have to reload a save, it's not that far away.
It's over.
So I may lose, like, I don't know, a minute or 2 at max.
Let's fight.
Which still would kill your chance of getting a world record, but, you know, it's still better than having, well, having lost, like, the whole run.
Great work.
Especially the marathon setting, like we are in at the moment.
Got something to It's over. Focus.
Oh my god, this is the 3rd surprise attack that we have gotten? Oh, I swear, I am cursed with these surprise attacks. Like, I think even the world record run that I had recently had like 3 or 4 surprise attacks by these bugs in it, so it's just, It's not only that they attack you, it's also that they use all these special abilities that have like an extra animation over your characters. So it just doubles the time.
Like that.
No, I did not like that Arpeggio. I really did not.
Got something. something tasty for you. Let's do this.
Ha ha!
Focus.
Ha ha!
None is tough
But yeah,
as a
we will be
demigod.
here for a little while. Like, usually my grind ends... when does it end, actually? I think between like 1 hour 45 to 1 hour 50, roughly.
Great work. Focus.
But hey, on the upside, this is the last grind that we have to do. After this, we are basically in go mode, and the speed of the run will pick up tremendously after this. Also triggering another little autosave here real quick.
This'll be over quick.
But I guess it gives us a bit of time to talk about the story of the game. Like I said at the beginning, we are the 333rd company of demigods,
Got something tasty.
protecting the world against the noises, which are basically the monsters, overrunning the world. And all of the peoples of this world eat a fruit that is called a harmelon, which is basically a harmony
This'll be
melon.
over quick.
And that kind of pacifies them in a way. Like, for example, you know, we have like this cat person, Dagmar, here,
It's over.
and also the fish person, which is Echo. And normally, obviously, you know, cats eat fish. So naturally, a Dagmar would be drawn to eating Echo. Just, you know, the natural way of things. But because they're eating the harmelons, well, you know, they are able to live together in harmony. Haha.
Stay alert.
This is, however, causing some friction recently, especially with the Awisis, which are the bird people. Because the Harmelon also suppresses their ability to fly, and you know, they kind of want to be free and explore the skies and whatnot, so there are happenings going on there. And
Great work.
it's actually a very interesting story at first. My gripe with it, though, is that it very quickly follows like JRPG tropes, and if you've played like more than one more JRPG in your life, you kinda know what you're getting into story-wise very quickly. Which I think with this game is like a very much missed opportunity, because it raises some very interesting questions with the characters that you encounter. For example, like, our characters are destined to die at the end of their 3-year duty, right? But at one point, you actually meet a demigod from an earlier cycle that apparently didn't die. He somehow was able to renounce his calling or whatever and survive. And you would think, oh my god, that, you know, basically turns the whole system upside down. Like, why or how he was able to do this and why and blah 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 blah. And the game just kinda never explores that.
It's over.
It even goes so far as to just kill that guy off in a cutscene that you don't even see. You only hear about it. He just kinda died at some point. And I was like, what? And yeah, I think the game is like kinda full of these missed opportunities to tell a more interesting story than it
Something
does.
tasty for you. Focus on the battle.
Which I personally really regret. But, oh well. At least the gameplay is great.
Don't underestimate us. Stay alert.
He says, standing in the same spot for like 20 to 25 minutes fighting monsters.
Not as tough as a demigod.
Like I said, this is like basically the biggest downtime in the run for sure. Now theoretically, I guess we could
Don't underestimate us.
split up this grind in, like, I don't know, 1 or 2 smaller portions. Because we definitely are getting to a power level that is above what we already need for at least the next dungeon. However, there's also really no reason for it, because you would just come back here again, simply because of this one encounter with the 8 bugs and the Miglovs. Because there really is no other encounter that even comes close. There are some encounters where you can face like up to 5 enemies or so, and, you know, get 5 SP out of that fight. But why do that when you can just get 8? And again, we're not really after the money or the experience. We are just focused on the SP that we can get out of a fight. And since every enemy, mostly, only ever gives you 1 SP, this is just the most efficient way to grind up the amount of SP that we need. I think the next time I have to refill up Hajo's MP, I'm gonna have a quick peek how we're looking at our total here. I feel like we should be at least in the 700s.
Great work.
Like I said, we need to go up to 900 SP on Alasia.
We won't lose. Ha ha!
None as tough as a demigod.
Oh, come on. Is that the 4th? Or the 5th? This is getting ridiculous.
Ha ha! Absolute victory.
700. Oh no, 859. Oh, okay. We're actually pretty close to done already.
This'll be over quick. Ha ha! Like that.
So maybe one more loop after this and we're done here.
Let's fight. Ha ha!
Obviously, it always depends on which encounters you're actually getting, so it's always a bit hard to tell.
Victory. We won't lose. Ha ha!
Especially if you keep getting this encounter, which is
Like that.
basically the worst one. Again, there's only 3 encounters that we can get through this method. This is the one we just had. It's the one against the 8 bugs here or Miglov.
Absolute victory.
I think we need about 21 more. 21 SP, that is.
Ha ha! Let's fight.
Oh boy.
It's over. Focus. Don't underestimate us.
At least it's a preempt. I think we're just gonna do the next 2 fights and then we might just already be done
This'll
here.
be over quick. Ha ha!
Not as tough as a demigod.
Let's fight. Ha ha!
Alright, let's see how we're looking. Oh yeah, 915. We even have too much, which is not a bad thing. But we could have ended this fight too early. I guess for a marathon it's not too bad that we have a bit of safety. Alright, turn in the quest to Ofern. Pick the next one. And since we have done some big grinding, we are now gonna do some big menuing. We're gonna turn Dagmar into a shaman. Now, shamans are very interesting. They learn fuses, which basically imbues your attacks with elements. You gain courage, you gain agility, spirit, more agility, regen. That's arpeggio, more strength, bunch more strength. I think there's enough for that already. Nice. Enough for that though. And Ulan gets Omni Water Roar. Also MP. Magic double cast, very important. Eris. Then we go to equipment. Dagmar gets the Rathalas and a cotton robe. Paige gets the Payskin armor and the king, and Ulan, Rathalas, and the cotton robe. And then we go to abilities. Ulan gets double cast, and that is it. Now, double cast, as you might imagine, basically lets cast Ulan every spell twice. However, they also cost, I want to say, 40% more MP? But obviously you only pay it once. So it's really good. Really good. Okay, that was another side quest step that we have to do for Ofern, and now we go back to Virgo Temple and continue with the game with the boss fight. I forgot to grab something with a Pajo. Whoopsies. So we will make heavy use of Crystal Break now, which is a new ability. That Echo learned. Oh, Echo had it for a while, but we haven't been using it yet. What Crystal Break does is it decreases his attack and magic by 30%, but increases it by 30% for everybody else in the group. And since he will never be really attacking, he will basically be our Crystal Break bot for the rest of the game, mostly. It's really good.
Let me help.
So this is Shala. She is the Virgo Astria. And obviously she is weak against wind.
Ready.
Really is a shame, because we just picked up a level 3 wind magic. And completely destroy her. Ha ha! Never gets old. Yeah. Yeah. Really doesn't, does it? This is the ability of the watering. You can basically transfer water from a source to a different source. There are a couple puzzles where you have to use this, but I think it's one of the more underutilized ring powers. But yeah, since this is the first Earth Temple that we go through, obviously, we will be picking up the the Earth power for our ring, which is actually the most OP traversal option that we can get. And you will see that in just a bit.
I'm eager to see what the other temples look like.
Maybe you are, Frost. Maybe you just are. Do you use a ring for it? Okay, here's the Earth power. And, oh, Earth allows us to summon a statue of Ulan that we can use as a platform. And the thing is, we can do this while jumping. And you might already get an inclination what this is going to.
Let's do this.
So yeah, I mean, we already had frame perfect tricks, we had wrong warps. I hope your jump and run skills are up to the task. Oh yeah, first of all, we have a bit of physics puzzling here. You have to summon that statue at a certain height so it has enough momentum to crash through that blockade there. But we also now have physics puzzles. Alright, normally you would have to do a whole puzzle in this room. But what you can also do is do this. You are not supposed to do this. We skipped like a long ass puzzle to get to the other side here. And yeah, we basically completely skipped that one room there.
It's okay, Echo.
All because we could actually summon this statue mid-air and use it as a platform to increase our jumping height.
Absolute victory.
I'm not gonna cry.
Alright, we're at the end of the temple, which obviously means boss fight time.
I'm ready.
This is the one time that I don't want him to cast fierceness. But he always does as of late. No. Kinda drags the fight down a little bit. And there we see Auto Raise Alley in action, but for some reason it failed. Okay. Why?
Fire.
Let's see.
That was weird. Also have to check something. Ah, God, we're one short. Are you kidding me? Ah, that's what it is. Alright. But why have one boss fight when you can have two boss fights?
Let's fight.
That's still enough?
I'm ready.
Ah. So this is Shala again. You saw her before. But as you can tell, she doesn't have that much HP. Yet. So we basically have to get her out of her stony form here. To actually be able to fight her.
Let me help.
Just... And there she is in all her glory.
Ready. Win.
But the only problem with double cast is if you use FP to increase the damage that your spell does, it doesn't increase the damage of the second cast. Which I don't know if that is an oversight or if it's supposed to be that way, but only the first one will hit really hard, and then the other one will hit a bit like a wet noodle in comparison. But it's still a lot of damage.
Ah, welcome to my shop.
We will buy Aeshmah and we're out of here. Oh yeah, and I should make absolutely sure that I'm grabbing this because I forgot to do that last time. I was already able to grab those other nodes.
Focus.
Now, this is Omniforcius. It's basically the enhanced or the next level version of Omniforcior.
Damn those noises. This'll be over quick. Ha ha!
Artisan of Glimeth. Don't think I've heard of that one.
This is Bracer and Sally's doing.
We won't lose. Ha ha!
Not as tough as a demigod.
This is the Make Me Handler shop.
Don't forget to talk to Livon again here.
You've been awfully quiet, Arpeggio.
Oh, hold on.
I can imagine why.
Forgot to do one thing here. I took to Nobi first for the next step in the side quest chain. Because that is why we did the thing in Pisca's Temple and then in Virgo Temple. Alright, we go into the weapon shop.
Welcome.
And then we buy 4 stun guard rings and 2 mute guard rings. Put in Cress in the party, and then we will turn Cress into a warrior. And grab a bunch of stuff with her. We're mainly interested in is double slash and triple slash. And also Omni slash. And I guess danger. Put dangers on her, and then go to equipment. Dagmar gets the stun guard ring, Echo gets a stun guard ring, Arpeggio gets the leather armor and the Aeshmah. Chris gets the Aeshmah, Pescan armor, and a stun guard. And Ulan gets a mute guard and a stun guard, and then we are good to go. We have another boss fight coming up.
We won't lose. Ha ha!
So, boss fight, once again, defense break to lower defense and magic defense by 30% each.
I'm ready.
Crystal break to increase our magic and strength by 30% each. And then here we use Elemental. Now, Elemental is a spell that randomly chooses an element to cast, and that is why we have the indicator on, so we can see when he is weak. We can cast Darkness, and then Crest can use Triple Slash, which basically makes it so that she attacks 3 times in a row. And that kills the boss. Aurora is kinda OP, haven't noticed. And this is also where we go ahead and sequence break the game, because yes, obviously, we do that in a speedrun. So we come here, we get into an encounter over this pit.
Stay alert.
Surprise attack, are you kidding me? Man, I'm really cursed by these surprise attacks today, aren't I? Oh, ridiculous. Well, at least they're attacking the guy that nullifies their attacks, I guess.
Like that.
Well, as I can tell, the game is a bit confused on where we are supposed to be now. So this is not an area that we should be able to access at this point. And we have a shoot 'em up section. So yeah, the game is Gradius now. Now this is either pretty easy or pretty hard, depending on how high score driven you are. There's technically no reason to go for a high score or anything. Basically just, you know, to keep you busy, I guess, through here. You can go ahead and match your element to the enemies to be able to defeat them quicker, which you should try to do, but it's also not a necessity. I don't think it even gives you more score or anything. Actually, I'm not even sure the score gives you anything to begin with. I think there's like one NPC that might be able to give you a couple items or so when you get a high score. But it's been a long while since I've actually done that. So I don't very clearly remember, if I'm honest with you. The only thing that you try, or that you should try and do, is to not die. Because if you do, you basically have to reload a checkpoint, which can set you back a little bit. So basically just, you know, go ahead and have a bit of fun here. You do want to pick up this power-up, though, that makes it so you so you have 2 shots. Because obviously it's double the damage. So I want to try and not lose any more health before the boss fight at the end of this. Because yes, this has a boss fight. Thankfully not too hard, as you can see. Right, now we are in Scorpio Temple. We absolutely should not be here. Like, if we run into any of the enemies here, we will absolutely get murdered. And you can kind of see the gimmick of this temple already. It's like this teleporting doors that flip gravity. They're supposed to push this block over here and then rotate so it smashes through the ground here. However, we don't have the air power for our ring yet, so we couldn't do that even if we wanted to. So we have to use our, you know, stone power again, or earth power. And this is the culmination of the side quest that we have been going on so far for Ofern. And this fight is pretty brutal. So we'll see how this goes, because again, like, there are like at least 3 to 4 dungeons that we basically skipped at the moment. So not only are we on the level, we are totally on the level for these guys.
Let me help.
Fingers crossed you can actually make it through this. Fierceness here is pretty good. I'll love to see that. Okay, everybody but the big guy is dead. That's good.
Right there.
I'm ready.
This ends now. Yeah.
So basically Crest has to come through here for us and kill this guy with triple slash. It's not quite the damage that I want to see here. Revive her.
Let me help.
This crystal break again because, you know, she died, so the buffs are gone. Another fierceness. Oh my god, Dagmar.
This ends
You're spoiling me today. Okay, that should kill. Yeah, cool. Okay. That was actually not too bad. Like, I've had way worse fights here. Believe you me. Gonna open the silver chest. Has a blood shield in it, which actually increases our defense by quite a bit. Because we really haven't bought any armor so far, like, whatsoever. Now we're actually gonna go ahead to the end of this dungeon. Because we'll come back here later when it is, quote-unquote, mandated by the story. Ah, I was afraid of that. And of course it's a surprise. Yeah, I think we're pretty much dead here. No, luckily we just passed a checkpoint, so it's not too bad, but... Because not only did we get a surprise attack where they all go first, they are also all of them faster than us. So they would get basically a second turn. Which, yeah, we very much will not survive. Okay, never mind. This is a very tight jump that we have to do here. So this can definitely happen. So it's a good thing that the teleporter slash save point is right around the corner. Okay, yeah, we made it. Like you see, there is barely any space left on that ledge before you just fall down. There's also like basically no way that you can win this fight. So we get the water power upgrade. And now we can walk on water. And then there's another gap here where we will summon some enemies. Immediately run away because there's no way we can win this. We just want this for another wrong warp that we do. Because now we are underneath the geometry and now we are at the end of the temple. But since we want to come back here, we'll go back one room and activate the other teleporter. So when we come back, we can just immediately walk to the end and be done with this dungeon for a second time. Oops. Alright, we're back here. And we will take this opportunity to open the path to another temple, which will be Cancer Temple. And normally we'd have to do a whole puzzle by going up there and dropping a box into the water so you can pass, but since we already have the upgraded water ring, we can just walk through the water and completely bypass that puzzle. Alright. And now we are in Cancer Temple, but again, we don't want to complete Cancer Temple just yet. We just want to have the teleporter option open, because we're going back and actually cashing in on the side quest chain that we've been doing this whole time. And we got a couple of very powerful items for doing this quest, which I will show you in just a minute. But first we will make our way to the temple where we are actually supposed to be going at the moment. Just so we get back on track with the actual story of the game. Yes, I was just about to say, this is the 4th temple that the story mandates you to go to, which is going to be Leo Temple. Also the 2nd Fire Temple. In keeping track. Ah, this is bad. Like, that is one of the enemies that kinda tricks you. By going to the right as soon as you pass over it. I thought I had paralyzed it quickly enough, but I guess not.
Sorry.
Can I just quickly kill them? Okay, cool. Yeah, it's definitely a fight that you normally wouldn't take. I was just bad at avoiding it.
involved our families are, I
The
don't
Leo
think that's the
Temple...
case.
Alright, let's... 1 second before we do that. We will change our party again. We'll bring Ulan back. And these are the items that we got from the quest that we did. Chrysos. Like, look at how much magic we get. We're basically doubling Ulan's magic stat just by equipping this staff, which is tremendous increase in power. It is so worth it to get that. Yep. So yeah, Leo Temple is very much different than all the other temples in the game, as in there's nothing to explore here. It's all in this arena. So we have to do 4 sets of 4 fights each. The problem with these fights is that they are all right after the other. So whatever shape you're in at the end of one fight will be the shape you're in at the start of the next one. So you can get overwhelmed in here very quickly if you're underleveled. So all the grinding that we have been doing up until this point was actually for Arpeggio to outspeed all the enemies in here. And the most dangerous one are these black rats, actually. Because they are the fastest enemies that you are facing up until this point. And they can absolutely murder you if given the chance. Also, I should have healed Arpeggio, but that's fine. They can just completely wreck your party if you let them. But since Arpeggio is faster than them, we at least have a chance to kill all of them before they have a chance to kill us. So we can actually get through this gauntlet of fights. So while yeah, all the grinding obviously helped us to, you know, get through all the other boss fights and whatnot quickly, ultimately it was all for this right here.
Let's fight.
But yeah, the black rats there, they only show up in the first set and in the 4th set of enemies that we're fighting, so the 2nd and 3rd are basically free. Just that the mice are not only very fast, they're also very evasive, so there's actually a high chance that your attacks will actually miss them. And again, Forcius, well, it is not really a spell, it's more like a physical attack, but non-elemental. It's like really weird in how it behaves. But yeah, I think it's becoming more and more clear why we turn Arpeggio into a Dark Knight. It's just the convenience that he provides with his force spells. It's just basically unrivaled. Like, the only other character that could be a Dark Knight is Cress. The problem with Cress is, though, she is very slow. She was generally go last or close to last. I think she's a bit faster than Dagmar and Ulan, but she's nowhere near as close as Arpeggio. And obviously, if you have this much power that can hit all of the enemies at once, you kinda want it on a fast character, which makes Arpeggio basically the quote-unquote only viable choice for this.
Getting stronger and
Let's
stronger.
fight.
Because it is way hard to raise a character's agility stat. There really aren't that many options to actually do that. And I think no matter what you do, like, Arpeggio would always outspeed Cress, no matter what.
Great work.
We won't lose. Absolute victory.
Alright, that's all the fights done. Oop. Of course, I have one more to do though, and that is the boss. So we fought this guy before. He's a bit different this time around because he randomly changes his weakness every single round. Except on the first turn. On the first turn, he is always weak against fire.
Let me help.
So we kind of want to go ahead and kill him on the first turn, obviously. He also counterattacks. It's not nice. Oh, he actually killed Dagmar. Should be fine. He doesn't need the SP, right? No, he doesn't. Fine. You can kind of see how much damage Ulan deals now. Like, she did over 30,000 damage with a single cast. It's ridiculous. Now, we are on chapter 9 now. The game has a total of 16 chapters. However, we are already way past the halfway point in the speedrun. So don't you worry about that. We won't be here for 4 hours. Quick switch here. Put Cress in. And then we go to the Ascension Tree. Echo gets... Right, more HP and Ignore. You get Omni IC or Omni IC. So wait, that is... And Apajo, oops, Strength. Aka gets a very powerful ability, Ignore, so he has a 35% chance to just nullify an attack whenever he gets hit. It's pretty good. Pretty good. But a 35% chance to just not take damage. We do like that on our... Well, he's not our healer, but our buffer, I guess.
Stay alert.
I get used to this boss fight, because we will be seeing it a couple of times in different configurations. But for now it's the same thing. Use Crystal Break. And you gain a couple of FP. And then you hope that Omni Slash just kills everything. And if not, we would have Ulan to clean up. Didn't need it though. Oops.
We're behind enemy lines at this point. Astria, watch yourself.
Secret passageway? Secret room? Nothing seems suspicious.
So also this is like the last area where we will actually be fighting random enemies. Because you also kind of have to fight them here. You can kind of see it's a very small tunnel. So we can't really avoid enemies by jumping over them as we normally do. And also all the strength that we got Arpajo so far gives him just enough attack power that he can still one-shot all the enemies in here. So basically after this dungeon, like his use for us during encounters is starting to heavily diminish. We will still bring him for certain encounters, but yeah, we will... I don't want to say that we will phase him out of the group composition after this, but he definitely will start playing a lesser role.
Focus on the battle.
There. Less ha-has coming up. This is a serious run now.
It's over. Stay alert. None as tough as a demigod.
So fun fact here is also, this is one of the new reroutes that we actually use Cress as a warrior.
This'll be over quick.
Normally at this point you would have Alec as a warrior. And we wouldn't use Cress at all anymore. She's really only useful in the beginning up until Ari's temple. And after that I never used her again, but now we bring her back as a warrior. For a little while. Eventually we will still switch over to Alec as a warrior.
We won't lose.
But like I said, this is a new routing thing that we've done because Alec has also access to the Wushu class. Wushu is basically a monk, if you want to think about it that way. And the thing with Wushu is they have an ability that is very similar to Triple Slash, which is a very good ability on the warrior. However, the problem, quote-unquote, with Triple Slash is that it always shows the animation of your character doing those 3 slashes. And Assault, the Wushu ability, basically does the same thing, you know, attacking 3 times, but it does it in 1 animation. So every time you use Assault over Triple Slash, you save about 6 to 7 seconds. And we use that ability a lot, so that adds up to about 2 minutes or so of animation that we don't have to go through anymore. Obviously, we don't save just 2 minutes because of that, because we have to do more menuing, right? We have to give or make Cress into a warrior and give her a couple of abilities. So that already cuts into those 2 minutes. But it's still a net time save over having Alec as a warrior. And just using Triple Slash over and over and over again. There was like I think the most recent optimization we did to the run, just like a week or 2 before the marathon here. Like I said, a lot of new things that went into this one for this event.
Don't underestimate us.
Alright. Another boss fight coming up here. Because Arpeggio just completely jinxes us.
Fortunately, no one's around. Would be a real pain to fight in a place like this.
Why did you just have to say that, Arpeggio? So we're fighting Castor and Pollux here. One of them is weak against physical, the other against water. So what's up with defense break? As always.
Let me help.
Into a crystal break.
This ends now.
Into triple slash.
Yes. Yes.
Let's see.
And then Ulan just cleaned up. Boom, done.
It's over. Hurry! We can't let Saren get away.
Hurry! Faster!
Homeward
So
bound.
this is the point where you want to use Fedora, our flying tiger thingy, to go to the home of the Awisis, which are, you know, the bird folk. However, his wings aren't strong enough, so we have to find some way for him to be able to fly higher. Then Alec remembers, oh yeah, my dad used to grow these fruits that strengthen Havalians. We're gonna pay him a visit. This is also where we come back to the Grand Canyon wrong warp that we did like a while ago. If you remember. Area fuse, defense, Umbra fuse, and that's done, okay. And we have another boss fight, ooh!
We've got this.
There's a Shulodai. I wonder what that is a reference to. Like a worm in the desert? Anybody? Shulodai?
This ends now.
But yeah, this is the first time that we use a fuse ability. We use arrow fuse on Cress here. Oh god, did he actually not? Oh, come on, lady. 1,000, really? So yeah, fuse abilities in this game are kinda interesting. Like, what they do is, they completely change the element of your attack. You know what? Just because I can at this point. So if I use Arrow Fuse here on Cress, her triple slash will deal 0% physical damage and 100% wind damage. Like, there is no physical component that is still part of this attack. It is all wind. And that basically lets you bypass like all kinds of resistances, which is pretty neat. And that is also why triple slash is so broken. Because you just bring a shaman and then you know, they have access to every single element. So you just hit an enemy 3 times very hard to whatever they are weak against. Yeah, like I said, get used to this boss fight. Gonna do a variation of this 4 times over the course of the run. This is the second one. Fierceness is good. Very nice. Oh, I survived. Not that though.
We should feed some of that fruit to Fedora.
So this is actually the first time you were supposed to do the shmup section. This is why now we are actually getting the tutorial for it, not the other time that we did it. But yeah, you can kind of just sit back and relax a little bit, because this one is also like quite a bit easier than the one that we already did. But again, the score really doesn't matter. It's just for your own, I don't know, satisfaction or whatever. You just want to make sure that you don't die, because that would definitely cost you time. That's a neat little trick here. You can incredibly increase your rate of fire if you are very close to the enemy. I guess kind of like in Mega Man. I think this thing there as well, if I remember correctly. Problem with the Mega Man enemies though, that they have invulnerability frames every time they get hit. At least most do. These guys are, I don't. This one is weak against Earth because we are on the way to an Earth temple, Wind temple, sorry. Did it. Page back in, and we have another boss fight coming up. You might remember this one. This is Dioscuri, or the combined form of Castor and Pollux. Focus.
Let me help.
The thing is, every time you hit him, he has a 50% chance to flip over and change his weaknesses. He's weak against earth and water now, otherwise he would be weak against physical. I want to see if we can kill him in just one action here, hopefully. Depending on our crit luck. We did not. So now he transforms. Now he's weak against physical attacks. So, nah. Basically do the same thing again.
I'm ready.
This ends now.
But that is also the last use of Cress for the whole run.
None as tough as a demigod.
He will now be replaced by Alec. So we go to Alec's Ascension Tree. We will turn him into a warrior. And then also turn him into a Wushu. Give him a couple of abilities here. There's the big one, Assault. And then we will give him... Oh, that was wrong. Omni Slash, Dangerous. More accuracy is very important. Alright, then even more strength. And then it gets dangerous and last strike. Go to our equipment, go to Cress. And then he gets that stuff. Where is the other mute guard ring? Oh, I equipped 2 on her. Oopsies. Okay. We are set up and ready to go. I didn't notice that I put 2 mute guard rings on Ulan. That is kind of funny. Yeah, this is the first wind temple and the only wind temple that we go to in the run. This is Gemini Temple. As you might have already guessed by the Oscura that we just fought. This one is kinda heavy on the puzzles. Like normally you're supposed to go up there to well, solve a puzzle. We can completely skip this because what the puzzle would do is it would make the bar platform on the right there jump up higher so we can go to the ledge. But we have our earth thingy here that we can use instead. If I don't mess it up. Oh, come on. Like, this jump is surprisingly tricky. Oh, what? There we go. Okay, took a couple tries. Eventually got it. So this enemy is just right in your face when you come through that door. If you just take a single step forward, you immediately get thrust into it. And like I said, we do not want to take random encounters anymore at this point in the run. Because they are all very dangerous now. So we'd rather not have to deal with them.
Waiting for us. But we must have missed them.
Instead we do some puzzle solving here. We have to manipulate the wind to put these boxes into the end. Also very important, you have to wait for this cutscene to play after you solve every puzzle before you go through the door. Otherwise it won't register the puzzle as being solved. Cut off the wind flow here so we can fall down. And this is, you can already see it over there, but we got the last ring power. This is the power of air. Surprise, surprise. Which will allow us to push blocks. I really like the music here, it's like very upbeat. There's another puzzle that we skipped. Normally you're supposed to go left and then drop a block down, but again we have the power of Earth. You can just skip this. This is the most involved puzzle around here. Oh no, I missed the cycle. You can make this platform cycle if you're fast enough there. But it's very tricky to do. So normally you would have to now go back to this room in order to go through the door. However, we can also just teleport back there. Makes this one a little bit shorter. Bring back Ulan. Couple of ethers. And then we have our next boss fight coming up. Oh. Oh no, we're back. Okay. And nothing happened. We just got into this fight here. Alright, that quick interruption there. No worries, no worries. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. You missed nothing other than the start of this boss fight, I suppose. Yeah, now the game expects you to go back to the start of the temple, but again, you can just teleport there. Yeah, I've seen that, I've seen that. Twitch being twitchy as always. Nothing to worry about. Chaparja back in. Let me go back to the Room of Courage. Not the Room of Confidence, the Room of Courage. Very important distinction. Yeah, we might remember this from, like, I don't know, roughly 2 hours ago. Maybe not quite. 1.5, probably.
What can it do? We should venture further inside.
Another boss fight. Now this one is another tricky one. He's kind of similar to Dioscuri, where he's either weak against all magic or against physical. And every time you hit him with a weakness, he has a 50% chance to switch over.
I'm ready.
So kind of just want to try and kill him in a single hit, so to speak.
My turn now.
There we go. That was a boss. But yeah, as you can see, like Assault, the animation is just way faster than Triple Slash, even if it does the same amount of damage. So that is starting to save quite a bit of time for us from here on out. But this is also where the game like really opens up, and even though the first 5 temples you had to, you know, go through in a set order from now on, the other 7 you can freely explore. Like the whole world basically is open to you at this point. So that obviously makes the routing a bit more complicated for a speedrun, like which of the 7 temples do you go to now, and so on and so forth. But first of all, we will grab a couple of fast travel options. Like, once you see the little spinning circle on the top left there where you get an autosave, you know that you actually grabbed that fast travel point that I just activated there. And now we will go to Libra Temple, which we actually used to do in early iterations of the route, but we're not doing Libra Temple anymore now. We are still going there to get it as a fast travel point, because the story mandates that you at least go to the entrance at some point, but we actually won't go through the temple. Instead, we will now go back to Scorpio Temple. Put Ulan back in. We gotta make sure our stuff is set up correctly. Can he grab that? No, we cannot. Ulan gets ice 3. magic. Everybody's full. I'll actually make a save here because this is one of the most tricky boss fights in the game. Also, I can give him the stun ring now. No, not yet. Because this boss has a staggering 8 phases that we have to go through. The first 2 phases, he doesn't have a weakness at all, which makes this really interesting to get through. We use Crystal Break and then Fire Fuse. He doesn't have a fire weakness, but at least it gets through his nullification of physical.
Yeah.
Then Ulan should be able to punch through the first phase. We do something similar for the second phase, is Spirit, which increases her magic stat even more. We focus.
My turn now.
He uses Omni Courage to increase our physical damage. And then we use Virus again. Oh, this will actually not go through, will it?
Let me help.
Oh my god, 24. Are you shitting me? Okay, come on. This should push through, right? Barely. Alright. Now he has a fire weakness, which you can finally start to exploit.
I'll take you all on. Nice.
Let's see. Fire! Fire! I'm ready.
Yeah, we need to use an Omni Ether here. Okay, from now on this fight will kinda go the same, where we use Fire Fuse on Alec and then with Assault just punch through his phases. Then do the same with Ulan.
Let's see. Let me help.
Refresh Crystal Break.
I'll take you all on. Nice.
And now he's in his last phase. In his last phase he absorbs, I think he absorbs, yeah, all magic, but he is weak against physical attacks. And of course he kills my physical attacker.
I'm full.
The bastard.
My turn now.
Yeah, that's the bunny.
Underestimate us.
Yeah, it's a very interesting fight just because it's so long. Okay, that was pretty good. Pretty good. Like, you really don't want the bunny to actually like get a turn because he will absolutely wreck your party if he does. Switch in Arpeggio again, and now he actually does equip the Stun Guard ring now. Also go to Arpeggio, he will get Last Stand, which is here. Then he will also get his sub-job, which will be a Shaman. So we have 2 Shamans now. He gets Fire Fuse and Nyx Fuse. And then he will get Last Stand, which makes it so that he has a 40% chance to resist being KO'd. So he has basically the 40% chance to just not die. in a run like this, very useful.
We are bound.
So now we actually go to Cancer Temple to make our way through here.
Our bond.
And I'm gonna say this now, and I can't understand why we don't have a plushie of this guy. Like, give me a plushie of Karkinos. God damn you, please. I need it in my life. Don't you all need a plushie of this guy?
Let me help.
He is so cute. But he's also weak against lightning, so, yeah.
I'll take you all on.
Kinda destroy him with that. So fun fact, if you look at his second form now, still cute, different way. What would you think his weakness is? Like element-wise, if you look at this.
I'm full.
If your answer is dark, then yes, you are correct. He is weak against dark magic.
My turn now. Hey!
Ah, yes, I totally thought he was weak against light. And had a rude awakening because he nullifies that. But yeah, Cancer Temple is kind of broken because of all the abilities that we've already picked up. There are a lot of puzzles that we can just outright skip. Like this one, where we would have to manipulate the water height. And just skip it.
I sense the power of bond. It beckons us to enter the temple.
Oh, this way you have to turn a water wheel the other way, but because we can already walk on water, we just don't care. And here we would have to push these boxes and then manipulate the water height, or we can do this. This is actually a very tricky jump. Ah, come on. Ah, I nearly had it. Please? Oh, what? No. Oh my god. There we go. That took a couple tries. It's like one of the hardest jumps, or hardest tricks in the game in my opinion. Like, that jump just haunts my nightmares. Once again, we should make the water wheel turn here so we can actually get to the end, or we can just YOLO and make that jump. That saves a bunch of puzzling here. So with a few tricksy maneuvers. Alright, another menu. We go to Echo, Harnesser. Gets Omni Shell, Omni Wall, Omni Dispel. You know what? He doesn't get the next one yet because I've made that mistake once. And it kind of screwed me over a bit. Water Fuse and Area Fuse. This is where like a grand departure from the previous writing comes in. Like normally we would do Libra Temple here. The one that we've already been to. But we don't do that at all in the new route. Instead we go to Capricorn Temple. Because as it turns out, and that is what the new runner found, Capricorn Temple is kind of broken. So there's just huge parts of that temple that you can just outright skip. Before we go though, we have to grab this teleporter just to make the track back a little bit faster, because there's one important item that we have to pick up for in a little bit. Got an itchy nose, sorry.
What can it do?
There's this agility bracelet here. And then we go into Capricorn.
Emanating.
Yep, okay.
Let's go inside.
Alright, boss fight time.
Let's finish this ASAP.
This is Amalthea.
Right there.
Will the defense break it?
Alacio!
Crystal break. And it's weak against wind. And we will arrow fuse.
I'll take you all on.
And then assault. Puts it into a second phase. Weaken it a bit.
I'm a fool.
And this is bad.
All yours.
We probably won't be able to two-turn it now.
Thanks.
But now it's weak against lightning.
My turn now.
So yeah, we're missing a lot of damage buffs on Alec now, so let's see. So actually very close, never mind.
None as tough as a demigod.
Yeah, there we go. And I was worried. But yeah, as you can see, like whenever a boss gets a turn, like one of your characters just dies. There's basically almost nothing we can do about that at this point. This is why we pick up skills like Last Stand and Auto Raise Alley and, you know, all these things that just revive characters automatically at least once per fight, so we can keep them in the fight. Well, this temple has really good music. Like I really like the somber tone of it. Yeah. I always do that wrong. So this is where the brokenness is. Normally you would have to go through this whole temple to find 3 gems to insert here. However, if we do it correctly
If we fail here,
and go into the menu while we interact with this thing, all the gems get inserted automatically and we can just pass, and that skips like half of the temple. I think there was, yeah. Too close to the edge. Zipline. Right. Making another safety save here because this puzzle is a bit tricky. Because it doesn't reset when you go out the door, so you have to be very precise with what you do here. Otherwise, you're kinda losing a lot of time. Oh, is it not correctly set? Ah, shit. I think not. Let's see if we can salvage this. Okay, we're good. I think. I'd just rather wait this out because, like, all these platforms are like off cycle, as you can probably tell, so I'd rather not rush it and take it safe, but make it through the— oh god, I was on it. Okay. If you have to do this again, it's like, oh, you just cry. It's so bad. So there's this whole thing that you have to get this minecart through these tracks by making the fire go down and whatnot before it gets burned and blah blah blah, and we don't do any of that. This would take way too long. Fun fact though, this was one of the temples that I very initially, in the very first route that I did, had in my notes. I wanted to do it, but it's just way too long.
That's something tasty for you.
And now we're back here anyway. We basically have come full circle this one. But yeah, we're doing another wrong warp here. Like right to the end of this whole thing. We switch Ulan back in, and Ulan needs to have agility bracelet equipped. But also, yes, all these. Just giving her that for a moment. And now it's very important that Echo learns Omnicast. And you gain a bit more strength if you can. Okay. Roger already has area fuse. Ethers. Make another safety save here, because the next fight is, again, one of the worst and probably hardest fights in this game. Like, it is definitely one of a run killer, if you're not set up correctly. Because this is the last time we fight these Oasis, and there's 4 of them this time. And they can just absolutely wreck you. So we start with casting Aerial Fuse on Alec. That is why we made Arpeggio Shaman. And we hope that we don't kill Alec. That would be catastrophic. They killed Alec. This is catastrophic. Yeah, we're basically cooked. So, let's do this again.
I'm so sorry.
It is hard to say it.
Focus on the battle.
Because we need this buff on Alec, and if he dies, well, he loses the buff. Yeah, well, what can I say?
I'm ready.
We might be here for a moment. Also doesn't help that Arpeggio just has a 40% chance to not die whenever he gets hit.
This'll be over quick.
Because area fuse on Alec. Stop using Gunner, you piece of shit. I've never seen this guy cast Gunner this often. Literally, I've never seen him cast it this often. Whereas our this has never happened before counter. I think it's like the 3rd or 4th time this run. Okay, we cast area fuse on Alec. Okay, Omni, area weakness. Fine. On Arpeggio is fine. I don't care about Arpeggio. Alright. I think we're in there.
Let me help.
We cast Omnicast on Alec.
Ready.
And then we use Aeshmah to go with a bit of FP. Because what Omnicast does is, whatever you use as an ability will get cast on every enemy. So we cast Assault on everybody. Okay, I mean, 2 survive, it's not too bad, because they are very low on health, so we should be able to just go ahead and clean up from here. Definitely need Alec alive, though, for the FP that we get. And then I guess Lon will just kill that guy. Please? Please kill. Oh my god. 112.
Great work.
Oh, we got through it. That's really all that matters. Because, yeah, like I said, this is one of the worst fights in the game. Now we teleport to Wyndham. Again, this is one of the fast travel options that we grabbed a little while back when we were first here in this flying section. Since it's been a while since we upgraded our gear, this is the perfect opportunity to do so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We buy 2 Noshiras. 1, 2, 3. We buy 2 bronze armors. We buy 2 Zeftian robes and an Octon mantle. Ulan gets the Zeftian robe. Echo gets the mantle. You get the bronze armor and the Noshira. You get a Noshira and the bronze armor. And then Dagmar gets the Zeftian robe and Otafera. And because it's so fun, we have another one of these worst boss fights in the run moments. Because these guys can also just completely wipe the floor with you. Kind of similar strategy as before. As long as... yeah, okay, you're fine. So once again, area fuse on Alec. Oh. I'm not so sure if it's okay it's Ulan is dead, but let's just see what happens. Okay, one of the guys survived, which is actually not too bad. That gives me time to just revive Ulan. Obviously, yeah, we will lose a little bit of time doing this, but better than dying. I think he's weak against Earth, which she doesn't have. I mean, I guess I could have just used Assault with Alec again, but I don't know, whatever. We made it through. Alright, also time to buy some items. Because we critically need an Omni Ether, better it's 2, and some Angel Wings, just because we can. And then we actually go to a Libra Temple. This is the one story mandated time that you actually have to come here. There's another boss fight here. We're not gonna do the temple, we're not gonna do the boss fight. Starting by defense breaking him. Okay if Apato dies. Doesn't matter too much. Not okay if he kills Ulan again though.
Let me help.
Not okay if he kills Ulan again. See if we can still make it. I mean, it should still be fun. Just if we can't be able, or we are not able to cast Crystal Break, but yeah, we still deal enough damage to kill him.
My turn now.
But because we're just gonna use Assault and he's done.
Does Goddess Yuna really know who he is?
Okay, so we are in chapter 13 now. We're about to enter chapter 14. Again, the game has 16 chapters. So, I want to say this is like the 25-minute warning-ish, roughly. Wanna get Rebel a heads up. You equip the Mute Guard again. You don't need the Stun Guard. Ulan needs that. Yeah, it's just not here, the bastard thing. But sometimes the game just likes to eat equipment, which is really not great. But yeah, we will now have a quote-unquote proper boss fight in the sky. Against one of the main antagonists. I know I haven't really been talking about the story, but like I said, I feel like the story is a bit forgettable with what they did with it. It's not a terrible story, it's just a bit run-of-the-mill. And I feel just like it could have been so much more. But yeah, good fight. But now we fight her for real. Much to, well, her detriment, she is weak against Earth. Because, yeah, she's a bird. And you really want to finish this fight in one turn. If you don't, she will start summoning ads. And you have to kill the ads before you are able to attack her again. Which means you will lose a bunch of time if you have to do that.
I'll take you all on.
So we will just kill her.
Great work.
Alright, penultimate chapter. So yeah, basically from here on out, it's probably like closer to 20 minutes or so from the end. Unless, you know, things go completely wrong. Gotta grab a bit more strength. Can we grab more? Oh, we can. Ooh.
Let's confirm Will Kite's location.
It is actually a random battle that we have to get through here that can be very bad, so we'll see how it goes.
Time to fight.
Oh, it's the bad one. It's the bad one.
Let me help.
My turn now.
I never know what to do with him there, you know what? Focus.
See.
Okay, you know what? That was actually too bad. Like, that preemptive strike definitely helped here. That preemptive strike definitely helped. If you don't get... Oh god. If you don't get that preempt, like, this fight can go sideways pretty quickly, and you're just in that fight for way longer than you would want to. I got another boss fight coming up. This is Chimera.
Focus on the battle.
Chimera is stupid because Chimera is weak to physical attacks. And you can probably already imagine where this is going because of it.
I'm ready. Like that.
I'll take you all on. Like that?
Ready.
But sometimes Ulan isn't strong enough to kill this thing. Yeah, which is probably not gonna happen. Oh well, just finish it off with Arpeggio then.
Hey,
There we go.
Don't underestimate us.
Put the Zima back in the group. We are gonna use a couple ethers here. I actually don't need that many. One should be fine.
I appreciate your help.
This is the point of no return, so we are locking into the end here. It's like basically you boss fight, and then the final dungeon, and of course the last couple of boss fights.
We won't
So we're getting very close to the end here now. But first, this guy, we fought him before, but now he has 2 swords, so he's twice as dangerous. And still we're gonna use the same tactics. Again, it's fine as Arpeggio dies, doesn't matter.
Let me help.
Crystal Break, and then we use Aereo Fuse.
best.
And then we just assault, and he should keel over.
My turn now. Yeah.
There we go.
Absolute.
Alright, final dungeon time. The final dungeon is vast in comparison to all the other dungeons. Like, it has so many doors that you can go through. Like, it is a proper labyrinth. So you can get lost so easily here and just spend hours going in circles if you don't know where you're going. So I will make very sure that I follow my notes here. Also, there's a couple of very important armor that we have to pick up,
Much like how the Astria
which we will need for the last boss fight. There. We'll go right 3 times from here.
The tower's overrun with noise
Okay, that was the first part of it.
Supposed to be a bastion.
Like, it looks easy when you know where you're going, but oh my god, if you actually want to grab all the items in there, you're in there for a while. We will... Right, did I scroll past it? Totally did. Buy one more upgrade for Alec. And then we go into the final part of the dungeon. We go middle 3 times. We go right. We go middle again. We go left. I can't believe it either. We take middle. We take another middle by going left. We pick up the last armor that we need. And then we're basically done. We have about, I don't know, 5-ish more minutes in the run, I suppose.
We will not get into chaos.
Alright, one last menu. Bring Ulan back. Ulan gets the Awisi robe. You get the Awisi armor, Minalauva. Take those off. And then the Ascension Tree, Omni-Errors, Errorima. And more magic. Guess I could also give her more HP, see if I have that. And then Alec gets... I guess also more HP, because why not? Alright. We are ready for the last 2 boss fights.
I will change the world.
So this guy, he uses Withering, which decreases all your stats, and he gets a second turn, and he uses Omni Triple Slash. So if you don't have anything that basically nullifies or absorbs physical attacks, you are dust. Which is why we picked up the armors that we did in the last dungeon here.
Mine now.
Very important that you have that stuff. No. Again, doesn't matter that Apache is dead.
I'll take you all on.
None as tough as a demigod.
Like, Alec just one-shots this guy, basically. But it's not over yet. Just quickly healing Arpeggio. Making a safety save here, just because we are at the end. And then it's time for the final boss, Wilkite, the god of chaos. Because who else would it be? This is a 4-phase fight. First phase is weak against physical attacks. Big mistake. As long as he doesn't kill Echo at the first turn, we are basically in great shape. He did not kill Echo. Well, this is possible. We use Defense Break into Crystal Break. And then Assault to just wipe out the first phase.
Turn now. Nice.
Second phase, he is now weak against Ice, Earth, and Water. Which is why we brought Ulan with Ice Rima. In the third phase, he is weak against Fire, Wind, and Lightning, and also on his first turn, he will sap your entire party of their MP. And this is why we bought the Omni Ether Axis back in Wyndham. So even though he does that, we can just... wait, where are they? Omni Ether X, there they are. Boop. And we're good again.
I'm ready.
Then we cast Spirit on Ulan to increase our magic damage.
I'll take you all on.
Cast Omni Courage with Alec to increase his physical damage on everybody else's. Then we cast Errorima, which should wipe out the third phase. And then we get into the last phase of the fight, and he has no weaknesses. No resists, no nothing. Time will be when the final cutscene starts, so after the fight. So get ready on time, we're very close to this now. Time leap is kinda whatever. It's just a time waster because none of your party members get to act and he just gets another turn. It's just a huge nothing burger. Omniforce says, oh, this is bad. This goes through my defenses. This is like the one thing that you do not want to see. Okay, we survived this. Okay, we're in there. So this guy is basically dead. We just use... Oh, nope. Yeah, Crystal Break again, just to buff us. And then Alex should be able to just kill him. And again, time is coming up.
Don't underestimate us.
And... time. Woo.
And give rise to
Eh.
you, better one.
That's it, everybody. That was Astria Ascending. I love this game, and especially the speedrun 2 bits. Like, I think it's a really great showcase just of like everything that RPGs have to offer and beyond, honestly. Like, I mean, we had shmups, we had frame perfect tricks, we had wrong warps. We had menu buffers, we had, you know, like a couple jump and run or platforming sections. There's like so much in there on top of like the whole, you know, kinda Shin Megami Tensei inspired combat system and whatnot. There's just so much going on here, and which is why I really think that this is a very overlooked RPG and you should all go out there and play it. Like, it's on every system. Like, I'm playing on PlayStation. It is on Steam. It is on Switch. I think it's even on Xbox. And you can probably get it during a sale for like €2 or €3 or something. So really, do yourself the favor and play this game and maybe even speedrun it. Like, it's a really good run. A really good run. I enjoyed it a lot. Like you saw, like once we were through the grinding section, the run was so fast paced with so much going on there. Like, I barely kept up with explaining anything. Yeah, really love this thing to bits. But yep, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this. We have the last run of the event coming up, which will be Rebel Dragon with more Kingdom Hearts for us. Thank you so much for the organizers for putting this marathon together, and obviously for all the runners participating, and for having me. Shoutouts to the developers of this game, Artisan Studios. They are currently on development on the next game, Lost Helden, which might release later this year, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I'm really, really looking forward to that one. Will be a great time, I am sure of it. And yeah, I guess I will see you guys around. Have fun with the last one of the marathon, everybody. Stick around, get up, grab a snack, grab a drink, be real quick. We just have one intermission, and then it's up to Rebel Dragon. Until then, everybody. Bye-bye.